Hello guys, hope you all are doing well, and today I'm going to discuss with you about one nation, one election scheme. We all are hearing the word simultaneous elections nowadays, and that's because there is a proposal of holding the elections to the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies simultaneously at a time. And the recent push came from the BJP government, especially from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2016. And ever since, there is a widespread discussion on holding a simultaneous elections in the country at the same time. And taking it a step further, the Law Commission drafted a report and submitted it to the government in August 30, 2018, and endorsing the proposal. And it also showed intention to change the constitution and bring some changes in the electoral process for holding the for implementing the one nation one election scheme in the country. Now, what is the simultaneous elections? If we talk about the situation in the country now, we know that the elections to the state assemblies and the Lok Sabha, they both are being held separately to each other, and that's also when either the tenure of one government ends or the assembly dissolves due to some issues. And so due to that the Lok Sabha and elections to the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies may not synchronize together. But in one nation, one election, the elections to the state assemblies and the Lok Sabha will be held simultaneously with each other. That means the voters have to cast their vote once in a day and at the same time or in a phased manner. Okay, so now let's talk about the background of this scheme. This scheme is actually not a new thing. The same type of scheme was there until 1967, and later that in 1968 and 1969, some state assemblies dissolved, and in 1970 the Lok Sabha also dissolved. Okay, and after that the elections were started holding separately to each other, and after that the Election Commission also endorsed the proposal in the 1993, and later the Law Commission also referred to the system in 1999. And the recent push came from the BJP government because the one nation one election scheme was also in their manifesto. Now let us talk about the advantages and disadvantages of this scheme. First, the advantage is that due to the holding of the elections at the simultaneously in both the country, there will be less burden on the system, on the machinery, and also there will be less expenditure on the election. Second is that the politicians and the legislators will get more time on focusing on their governance rather than always being indulged in the electoral process. And the third is that according to the Election Commission, the voters turnout will also be increased by this holding the simultaneous elections. Now let us talk about the disadvantages. The disadvantages are that since we know that the national issues and the local issues are different in the country, so I think that if the elections will be held simultaneously, then the local issues will will be ignored in the larger national issues. And the second is that because the accountability to the politicians and the legislators will be reduced, because the elections will only held in once in a 5 years, so the legislators will not have to reach the people in many times in a year, so that will also reduce their accountability. The repeated elections held the legislators to their toes, and they usually used to visit the people. We also know all these things. Okay, and the third is that we know that if the elections will be in a state will be delayed due to until the synchronized phase, then we will have to impose the present rule in the state. So that will also not be a good thing for the democracy and the federal process of the country. So that is all about the scheme one nation one election. Hope you all guys understand it well, and if you find the video helpful, don't forget to subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, and also share with your friends. Thank you. Have a great day.